All right, recording has started, and this is the October 18th, 2022 Rook Community Meeting. So let's jump on into our milestone checkup and let's see, check in on everything here. I'm a little confused myself right now about when specifically last releases are done. So let's click on this here real quick, check the dates. 12 days ago, so that would be since the last community meeting, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, at the last community meeting, we said we didn't have another 1.9 plan, but then a fix came up. It's like, well, we should get that into 1.9. So we went ahead and released the same day as the last 1.10 as well. Yep.
Nice.
I think with that, yeah, the Helm memory limits, I think was the one. So
awesome.
it was
Good to get
causing
that
OSD. Yeah, OSD failure was being caused frequently because if you're trying to set up OSDs on large disks, it needs more memory, is what it comes down to.
Yep. That makes sense. All right, sweet. So we got that one out, and that one, the 1.9.12 was released, and then now there's nothing currently planned for further 1.9 releases unless another particular fix comes up then.
Correct.
Yep. All right, let's check in then on 1.10.3 and give ourselves a quick refresher. I feel like that was the same day. So, you know, we obviously got that same Helm fix in there, the memory limits in there for OSDs. And then another set of fixes, though, obviously, since 1.10 is the most recent release, we're getting a lot more things in there. So any highlights to call out here, Travis?
Oh, let's see. I mean, we had the new 3.7.1 CSI driver, had, I don't know, yeah, just a bunch of other small fixes. Nothing I'd have to call out so much. Anybody else? And that was almost 2 weeks ago. So how are we supposed to remember that, Jared?
I do put a large burden upon you, and I apologize, but
Right.
not too much.
Yep.
All right. So then, you know, with our typical cadence of every 2 weeks or so, then we have another 1.10.4 release that's planned for just 2 days from now on Thursday of this week. Let's take a quick look at the project board to see what's might be included in that or what's still pending to make it in.
Yeah, I don't think anything is blocking that release. That would just be our cadence release for sure. I've tried to clean up, I spent a few minutes before this cleaning up the board a bit. I've got a few things that would be nice to have still in 1.10. But yeah, I'm not sure we'll have any of those by this Thursday at least. So, or Siobhan's looking at that one in progress there. But we'll see on that one.
All right. Anybody else want to call anything out for the next 1.10 patch release that's coming up on Thursday? All right. Okay, so we'll follow up this week to get that one out on Thursday. And then 1.11, I think we're still pretty early in the cycle there. We're talking about mid-January, so after the holidays and into next year would be the release, scheduled release on that. So very early with just a handful of issues that were put into this milestone or things that we're planning on focusing on, but nothing quite really done yet. So anything we want to call out here for ongoing work or things that we might need help with or anything like that?
Yeah, mainly the issues in this board right now, I just moved from 1.10, which was obvious, the ones that were obviously not going to happen in 1.10. So these aren't really committed, or yeah, they just got moved. So we really need to think about what do we really want in 1.11. I haven't updated the roadmap yet. I need to do that and think about what are we going to shoot for in 1.11. Now the operator SDK update is a big one that Siobhan's working on now. I don't know if we even have an issue on this board for that yet. So I know there's, oh wait, yeah, it is.
This issue here?
One there. Yep, that one.
Good, perfect.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the biggest one. Will hopefully be no impact for the user, I think. It'll just be an internal thing. But yep. Otherwise, we should.
I think it will be. Sorry
Yep.
to interrupt. I think it will be a little impact on the user regarding the die twist structure and also, but yeah, we will see later.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm sure with such a big change, it'll, there'll be something. Hopefully we can avoid breaking changes. That'll be the challenge, I think.
Right.
Would that be any like any possible changes in the functionality of the operator? Or is it more of the packaging and installation and upgrade type, process or path?
I think it's more of that packaging and
Mm.
actually I think the impact may be more downstream because we're using that
Mm.
whole operator SDK for that purpose of downstream packaging. But I don't know, Shubham, from what you've started looking at, do you think there'll be upstream impact?
No, I think this is mostly the packaging and upgradation and also. Yeah, apart from that, expected changes currently I cannot think of, and that also we might can handle, but yeah, it is mostly the packaging and all.
Cool. That sounds good. Sounds reasonable or expected.
Yeah, since upstream we're really using the Helm charts and
Yeah.
just raw YAMLs, that packaging doesn't apply. So yep.
Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. And so not too much else going on 1.11 to bring up or talk about. But yeah, we've got a few months until the tentative scheduled time frame for the release of mid-January. So plenty of time to be working on the focus areas and high-level objectives in this milestone, and then deliver and execute on them as well. All right, so we can go ahead and start moving on into the community topics section. So Parth, you added a discussion agenda topic here about using 2.xy versions for the Rook releases. And it looks like Travis already answered that with exactly my same mentality as well, is that, sticking to the meanings of semantic versioning. And as long as nothing is, breaking changes or, major functionality overhauls, I also don't see a need to bump to, do a major version bump.
Mhm.
Is there any sort of like specific concerns or, scenarios or necessities that are coming up for that, or is it more curiosity?
Yeah, it's more of a curiosity, I would say. Just like I see like different versions coming for some different projects, but yeah, it makes sense to like continue how Kubernetes versions are releasing. So yeah, I guess we can keep it like that.
Mhm.
Yep, and then pretty much all the projects I've seen within like the cloud native space that have done a version bump to a version 2, they're almost exclusively around big re-architectures, changing the protocol, like major functionality, breaking changes type of stuff, where it's a very conscious, okay, now I've got to change how I'm using this thing to go to this new model in version 2. So it is very much a semantic big bump there. So yeah, that's what I've seen as well.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is a different pattern from like the Ceph version, because the Ceph major version changes every year with each new release, and even though there's not really breaking changes. But yeah, I think the following what Kubernetes is doing for release versioning and following and only changing the major if there's a breaking change, that makes sense too.
Right. I think also it makes sense to keep our versions aligned with our like API versions. So were we to go to a drastically new model, we would have like a V2 of our APIs as well as a V2 of our like release numbers, I think.
And you're referring to the CRDs really specifically, I assume?
Yes, the CRD version numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we're not changing the CRDs in any major way soon or anytime.
At
my
least there is a
lifetime.
lot more support for, migrations and conversions and all that sort of stuff than there was, years into the past when we had to do a lot of that like manually within, code doing migration stuff manually. That was gnarly. So
Right.
we've moved on a lot since then, just some more framework around it. All right, Travis, you want to talk about disaster recovery improvements?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put a link to the PR, but just as to follow up from our discussion last week, I had mentioned trying to do some disaster recovery improvements since it's such a manual process. And I do have a PR that's just in final review for taking, basically, if you've lost quorum and you want to restore quorum just to a single mon, just you find a single good mon, then you can restore it to just that. So the crew plugin makes that really nice. And here's a link to it, almost there. Okay. Yep. So there's a link, and it'll be great. So that'll be the first kind of disaster recovery scenario helped by the crew plugin, and then we can work on more from there. I think Gaurav said he wanted to work on the recovering mon quorum from OSDs if all the mons are gone, type of thing. So yeah, there's a few scenarios we could deal with there. It's all bash scripting, lots of fun.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Very cool, very cool. Have you gotten some good cycles on taking this for a test spin and such, Travis? And others?
Minikube, it's working well. Right? It'd be nice to have some validation on a real failure. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, the scenarios tested in that CI and in Minikube. Maybe I'll try it on a full size cluster too, but just to confirm. But yeah, I think the idea is if we get this in the next couple of days, we can have a crew release this week also, and then it'll be available for someone to try out the next time they hit that disaster recovery. It's not too often that somebody needs to use it, so I wonder how long until we hear feedback on it.
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, it does seem like it would be nice to be able to test this with, multiple distinct nodes within the cluster, as opposed to as you called out, the test scenario of, Minikube with maybe a single node in it.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Very cool though. This is definitely helpful to, provide more automation and streamline stuff. Hopefully no one ever has to use it though.
This is true.
Okay, great, Travis. Thanks for that update. Now the daily test run is now green once again.
Yes. So there were two major issues we had. One was that Ceph main didn't allow us to detect the difference between Reef and Quincy, and that was fixed a couple weeks ago. So those tests turned green except for intermittent issues. And then with Shubham's fix for ARM64 to clean up the tests when they're done, now ARM is passing too. So we're down to intermittent failures, but a couple days ago there was a green build, so it's nice to see that again.
Definitely is. Are the intermittent failures, are those like long-standing known issues type of things, Travis?
I'd say, I mean, when we know about one and how to fix it, then we fix it. But
yeah,
they're yeah, I guess they haven't been consistent enough to go track down yet, and I'd say there's nothing new. Well, at the same time, the daily tests haven't run successfully for so long. We should spend a few minutes and go look at it too, to see what's popping up frequently.
cool. Yeah, great effort though, Shubham, for getting that sub test fixed. Thanks for doing that.
Yep.
Okay. And then there's a new failure with the old SNCC.
Yeah, I just noticed that this
brand new
morning
one.
and opened an issue. I think we just need to update our references to pick up some recent fix, because the report says it's fixed in some newer version of that Go module. So
Right.
probably a simple thing. If we just update our Go modules.
Okay, good. Now with this, Travis, like, what's the scope of like, a release to fix this? Is this something we just fix in main and then get out in the next, next scheduled release, or backport this, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think just getting a fix in and releasing on Thursday and fixing it with 1.10 will be sufficient. I don't feel like
Okay.
it's urgent to get into a backport. I didn't see anything that indicated it's a real security issue for us. Just that it's good to keep the scan clean, but no known attack surface that I could find.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for staying on top of that. Do you get notifications for when they start failing, Travis, or do you just got to keep an eye on it, or?
Yeah, I get notifications when there's a CI failure in master. I've never been clear if it's because I'm the one that usually merges them, but it seems like even when other people merge them, I still get notifications.
Interesting.
I'm not sure why you don't or whatever.
That's that's a lot of emails to keep up with as well, I guess.
There are a bunch. Yep.
Cool. All right. And then, yes, so then this agenda item, we did talk last meeting about our release cadence process, et cetera. So Travis, you did then follow up, I saw, to get that documented, huh?
Yep. And thanks for the suggestion on following the cross-plane pattern. So I
Right on.
borrowed some of that content.
Yep.
So it's great to have that finally defined. I think, yeah, the main
Yep,
point is
there
that the
was two.
last two
Yep.
releases will have patch releases. And
So for instance, for us right now, that's 1.10 and 1.9, right?
correct.
Yep. Perfect. That sounds great. Yep. This is good to have this captured.
Yeah. That definition of maintenance basically was what I lifted from the
Yep.
crossplane. It's nice to just be clear. Hey, here's what we mean by it. And
Yeah, exactly. No SLA.
right.
Yep. Okay, this is good. This is a good policy to kind of capture and be clear about what we're doing. All right. Okay, so that looks like the end of the topics that are on the agenda here. I'll open up the floor for any other topics that folks wanted to bring up that did not make it to the agenda itself. Okay.
The
Going
tough
once.
crowd.
All right. Well, if there are no further agenda items, then we can go ahead and adjourn for this week. And then a reminder that we will be following up to get the 1.10 latest patch release out on Thursday of this week.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
Sweet. Thanks, everybody. Good to see y'all.
Hey, Jared,
Bye.
are you going to
bye.
KubeCon?
Yeah, you know it, Alex.
You're going.
I'll see you there, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Any
See you.
recommendation of things I should get for the travel? I already bought some additional travel adapters just to be on the safe side.
No, I don't think so. Besides that, we'll see if there's anything fun and cool in Detroit to do. I don't know
I
if there
hope so.
is, but we'll find it though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have a good time in Detroit. I'll miss you.
Yeah. See you next week, Alex.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.